Despite this oil refinery build's huge size, it's still missing an important section. It already makes fuels and byproducts like sulfur, but now I need to design a chemical plant add-on to turn the naphtha it makes into plastic using Minecraft Crate Mod. Plastic is very important for the electrical materials I'll need if I ever want to make a power plant. I also spend a bit of time automating more crate components with my newly supplied copper and brass from the last video. Look at all this stuff here on the side, ignoring the food, that I can craft now that we have brass and copper and zinc. This train here, which we set up yesterday, well, last time, not really yesterday. This train brings the stuff in. If you look here, you can see it is got stuff here. This thing will just go around and around and keep collecting stuff and dropping it off, and the important thing is I have to integrate it into the factory now. To do that, I need to connect it with an ME network thing into the bigger system here, but unfortunately some of the convenient nearby ones are already maxed out at 8 channels. So if I were to remove this, then this only has 7 channels. So I could then add a little workaround. Or not really a workaround, it's just this trick. We have a storage bus and then an interface. Let's say I put the interface there, and I put a storage bus looking at the interface. Then I do this, which will give power to that. Suddenly, this is back to 8 channels, and this now has 1 channel, and we have a new sub-network. I can reconnect this with an import bus, and we will continue importing the iron as we need it. So what exactly do I want it to do? I want it to import copper, zinc, and brass. And now it has room to do that. So I'm going to get 2 import buses here. I'll filter them just in case. It should be as simple as that. It should start taking these down, if I did it right. It is, look at that. It's bringing in brass right now. It's not importing it very quickly though. Lucky me, that's pretty easy to do. We can just make some advanced cards. I can actually automate this. Why haven't I yet? I'm slacking in my automation. In order to easily make more of these recipes, I need, what are they, patterns? Yes, blank patterns. Why did I not automate blank patterns? Oh, because they need glowstone. The only good way of automating glowstone needs a potion, or potion burn stuff, which I could set up here, but I'm not going to right now. There's very little glowstone here right now. That's kind of bad. I need to go get some by hand. Well, here's some. That'll help a little bit. So I won't automate those patterns yet, but I will make a bunch of these right now. I can put them in here. And what was I trying to do? Oh yes, acceleration card and just advanced card at all. So here, let's export this. Give me some of, oh, I can't do that. And I'm running out of room in my pattern thing. I'm gonna have to build another one soon. Wait, then I just have to put it in here, and now it should already be making them. Yep, I see it crafting. Excellent. So it's already unloaded everything, including maxing out the gold, which means I can send the train back on its way. Oh yeah, and since I'm also about to go add some chunk loaders to that area that I made last time, I also need to pick a name for the cat driver of the train that we made last time. I asked you guys for a suggestion, and we have multiple suggestions, everything from Vin Diesel to Paddington to Jeff. Now we don't have anything named Jeff yet, but that's about to change. This was inevitable. Its name is Jeff. Well, the mall is basically done. Almost everything I could want. The only things that aren't here are the things that take kelp, like these tunnels, or the things that take precision mechanisms, which I tore down my old automation because it wasn't any good. That's not a huge priority though. We're gonna shift gears now that we have all this stuff, and even more random things like iron bars. But those aren't related to what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going and automating plastic. A while ago I made this oil refinery, but I left multiple segments of it unfinished because it was way too big to do all at once. In fact, I've already had this section built in another video, so it's already been over the course of multiple videos. And I mean, look at this thing. You could probably see why. This flare stack here is always burning naphtha, and it's just deleting all of my naphtha, because naphtha is what you turn into propylene and ethylene. And then both of those get turned into liquid plastic. Also, you can turn ethylene into cooling fluid, which we might or might not want. I don't know. I'll probably do that at the same time just in case. You never know. So this big open area here is meant to have more chemical plant building stuff. We're going to build a chemical plant in the oil refinery. It's similar, as we often do. We're on a creative world, a creative version of this, so that I can design something that looks good, especially with this, which is pretty difficult to make, not gonna lie. I was looking up chemical plants and plastic and stuff, and as I often do with this stuff, I end up reading for a while on Wikipedia, getting lost in just clicking through like different pages there, reading random stuff about plastic and polymers and whatnot. But anyways, I did conclude that the plastic plants, the chemical plants, are very similar looking to oil refineries, so they're almost interchangeable. This is definitely the hardest kind of building I ever have to do, because I'm really good at like, oh, here's a vehicle or a building in a picture, go build that, and like, cool. But when you have something like a chemical plant or an oil refinery, it's so darn complicated, which means I'm left to my own devices, which I can do. It's just a little bit worse, and it takes a lot longer. But I have this laid out here, and I'm going to be reusing some designs from here as inspiration, and I've got basically some pictures that I'm looking at as well, so I think it'll be good. But right here is where I'm going to have the main distillation tower that takes in the naphtha. Yes, it takes in the naphtha, and then we get this stuff. That's going to go right here. There's actually no point in making it this tall. I think since it has two outputs, it only needs to be only this tall, actually. That's bringing in naphtha. Now I just have to get fuel here, and unfortunately it only accepts diesel or gas, so I'm gonna have to siphon some from one of these pipelines here. Alright, look at that. I think it already probably started working. Did it? Yeah, it did. You see, one thing I learned, look, propylene, ethylene, one thing I learned from the other ones, you don't need 4 superheated blaze burners, you really only need 1, so I'm technically wasting fuel on all the others, but it's like 45 minutes, so it really doesn't matter, especially given that the oil is infinite. So one thing that's left over from when I built this is a storage tank here for propylene, and a storage tank there for ethylene. Kind of unnecessary, but since I actually decided to do that before, I'm gonna hook it up now. Wow. This is almost all the functional things here, and a lot of decorative stuff. I think I've done everything decorative around this side, so it's just building up this area now, which is nice. But here, let's look at the decorative stuff. I'll show you real fast before I let this go more. Let's put that there. And we should see water and ethylene going in here, and it should start making cooling fluid. Yes, look at that. Cooling fluid is in there. Oh, that's very satisfying. And then here we have plastic and ethylene, and I have yet to do... Oh yes, I didn't put a pipe there, so now watch this. There it goes. Now there's the propylene, and look at that, some liquid plastic for me. I just have to get some power to these pumps, and it will be able to fill these things, which are filled with tanks. We're going to put the plastic in here, and the cooling fluid in here, and then the cooling fluid can come out. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's just going to go into some little depots. But the plastic, it can get stored here, and then maybe like right here we'll have the little station where it gets turned into the plastic sheets. Now it should send it out of here. We should see liquid plastic. Yes, look at that. I can see it in the thing. But do we have the cooling fluid? I think I saw it as well. Yeah, look, it's getting removed. That's good. Sometimes these filters don't like to work, but it seems like they aren't having any problems now. And see, look, cooling fluid, cooling fluid. Let's get this turned into plastic sheets. Well, look at that. It's a chemical plant. It's now doing everything that it needs to do. If you look around here, we'll see that it already filled this up with 320 buckets of plastic. And if we come around here, I've added a switch here where you can just burn the naphtha. You can just burn the naphtha instead of sending it in, because at the end of the day, if you clog any one of the things in the oil refinery for too long, it will shut the whole thing down. And that's very bad. We've got valves here. We can turn this on or off, and that will just stop it going over here. And we've got valves over here that will send it to the big tanks. And I suppose if you ever needed more of it, you could call it from the big tanks if you want to just by reversing some pumps. But right now, these are shut off. If we go around here, I have this little kiosk, and it's where we're making the plastic. I probably should add those funnels or tunnels or whatever they are here, because this only brings out one at a time, which is a little annoying. So this thing here, I think it uses 200 plastic to make a plastic sheet. Kind of a decent amount, only 5 of them per bucket, so... Although I wouldn't say we need plastic for a lot of things, we probably don't need it on an industrial scale, which I would not really consider this an industrial scale. Although perhaps you would beg to differ. Oh, but most importantly, in one of the pictures I was looking at, I noticed a bright green distillation tower, and that's how you know it's eco-friendly. This means that this is actually very good for the environment. All the PFAS that we're making here and we're dumping into the water, it's very eco-friendly because it got painted green, and we put a green leaf symbol on it. I don't know what it is like in other parts of the world, but if you're in the US, good luck finding any decently sized municipal water supply system that doesn't have PFAS in it. I've tried. It almost doesn't exist unless you want to live in the middle of nowhere. Or maybe Denver. Oh look, a stack of plastic. Epic. That means it's time to go back into survival and get this thing built and start making some plastic. And to do that, I'm going to be using the crate mod schematic. Speaking of schematics, I'll be updating the oil refinery schematic over on Patreon in the shop there, because it has the old version minus this available there now. I'm just going to switch out the files that you basically buy there. So if you already bought it, you should be able to re-download it. Let me know if you can't, and I'll figure out a different way to get it to you. But basically, I'm just going to update the existing thing there. I have to position this in the right spot. Ugh, this is difficult. Wait. Oh shoot, I thought I actually lined this up properly for a second. It's close, it was close. Not quite. Here it is, the future chemical plant. Let's see. Well, that's awkward. Let's see how many materials it needs. Probably a lot, because these things are usually complicated. Yeah, that's 20 pages. Not a large number of each of these, but the steel is always a pain, because steel I can't automate. I wonder how much steel I have. Let's go find out. Let's check. Oh look, 37 steel ingots. That's not very much, now is it? Yep, all that automation earlier doesn't help me with steel stuff. Now, when I made the whole thing, originally it took several thousand pipes, so I should be thankful that it's only 200 or 150. And you know, the copper automation from earlier helped. 62 fluid pipes, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. And I've got 60 buckets of molten steel here, so that'll make a decent number of ingots, actually. Let's just do that. And there goes our steel, and we're going to be casting. So I'll be waiting here a little while. Maybe I'll be making some more. Okay, I've got 25,000 coal coke dust. These things need more stuff. I've got all this crushed iron saved up. Well, that's not very much more. But I guess I'll see where it gets me. I have all the materials that I need, probably, unless it lied to me, which it often does. I'm kind of used to it by this point. Let's get this thing built, and then we can get some plastic. And maybe we can set up enough electrical stuff to actually turn on the light bulbs that are scattered around here, because there's lots of them, but they have no wires and no electricity generation. Even if I have to make one of those cringe other dynamos, we'll do that. But let's get some electricity. Well, here we are. It's finished. That didn't take too long. It wasn't missing very many resources. There's just, it didn't seem to connect it properly. So let me grab a thing. By a thing, I mean a vertical gearbox. And I should be able to just put this here. Is there another spot? Yeah, I need a vertical gearbox right here as well. I don't know why I didn't replace that, but whatever. That should be bringing everything in that we need now. Yep, that's going. Okay, that's going to go through. And then if we look under here, it's going to light up. Did it already do it? Yeah, it lit that up with gasoline. So now it's a superheated blaze burner. Alright, naphtha's going in here. Propylene is in here. Ethylene is in here. Oh, these valves are off. Turn these valves on. Oh, and look, ethylene. Look, we're making liquid plastic. It's already working. And here we've got... Oh, shoot. I messed this up because there's no water that's supposed to go in there. You have me block that off. Oh, look, it's already making plastic. See, I didn't have to do anything. Look at that. Dude, where is the water going? Why is it not going in there? Oh, it had nowhere to go. Okay, whatever. Okay, so now let me swap this out, and we should get water in here. Yeah, that's what we like to see. So now it's gonna make the cooling fluid. No, don't make the plastic. Make the coolant. There we go. I don't know if I need to get that out of there or not. That might cause a problem. But you can see the cooling fluid is filling up in here. Well, guys, it's already working exactly how it's supposed to. Let's check on the plastic. Oh, look, we already have a stack of plastic sheets. That is awesome. So, now that I have plastic, let's do some fun stuff with it. Like, ooh, I can make plastic pipes. Here's our PVC pipe. Something like, whoa, you can Instamine it. That's cool. We can make things like fake paper. Another interesting thing I can do is I can take some chromite and some aluminum, and I put it in here, and it turns into this thing, thermite powder. And then once you have that, you can take 4 of it. You can take some plastic, and then you have a thermite grenade. Uh-oh. There's a distinct lack of fire. Oh, there we go. Great. Moving on from thermite, the more important thing that we need is resistors and capacitors. So we're going to take some of this copper wire from the factory must grow, and if we go back home, I have a little bit of this stuff because it started generating and fire away because I added the mod a little bit later. I have a little bit of nickel, a little bit of lead. That's some electrum. I don't think I need that. I think there's lithium as well. I don't know if I have any of that or not. I'll have to look. Oh yeah, I have some more of this stuff. No lithium that I found though. So I can make resistors. I can also make capacitors. And with this, you can make electric casings, and that's where all the good stuff comes from. I start with the heavy machinery casings, and then you just craft this stuff. We've got an electric casing now, and that only gave me one of them, but oh, it's a block, and it looks electric-y. That's cool. I've been kind of wanting one of these kinds of blocks. Ooh, and it connects. Oh, this is good. I've been wanting a building block that looks kind of like this. Very nice, very nice. Okay, building blocks aside, we can make things like electric motors, we can make resistors, we can make traffic lights. We'll probably be wanting those. I can make an electric pump. I want to make an electric motor. In order to do that, I need magnetic iron, which I don't have. To do that, I need a polarizer. I don't have a polarizer either, but I can make that. More capacitors. Now I have a polarizer. So what I do with this is I can put steel into it, give it power, and then I guess it magnetizes it or something like that. Problem is it has no power. On the right side there's a little thing called a galvanic cell, which has infinite small amount of power in it, apparently. Only problem is I can't make it very easily because it needs zinc sulfate and it needs copper sulfate. Which just means I need some sulfuric acid. In order to do that, I'm going to steal a little bit of nitrate from the dirt farm. That's probably enough, and I can steal some sulfur. I got 1 nitrate, 1 sulfur. Let's put that in there, and it makes some sulfuric acid. It makes half a bucket. All that I should have to do now is put a copper ingot in there, and then it's going to turn that into copper sulfate, and then I put a zinc ingot in there, and we get zinc sulfate, and that should be the 2 things that I needed for making that cell. Here we go. So, what's this going to do? Oh look, it already has some charge in it. Is it possible to charge this from this? I don't know. Oh, it is. Look at that. See, it just kind of connects right there. And so if I put that... Oh, look, see? It's charging relatively slowly. Oh, it's draining this as well. I don't know if that's going to work. There's just a little bit of infinite power. I wonder if we can run a light bulb, by the way. Cool, here we go. Look at that, a magnetic ingot. And let me get rid of this. And... Oh, look, it totally lit up the light bulb. A lot, I think. I need 1 more of these. Oh no, insufficient voltage. I think I have to let this recharge. Oh, never mind. It actually doesn't have infinite power. It literally just runs out of power. Well, I have to make another one. Alright, I got another one of these. Let's make this last one. Okay, it just ate it. Give me that. And that is an electric motor. Hopefully it's enough to power some light bulbs without using too much actual rotational energy. Generator speed and RPM. Oh wait, that's a motor. That's not a generator. This will create rotational power from electricity. I don't need this right now. I need this later. Oops. This is how you make a generator. That's what we need. So the way this works is I'm hoping it works like this here. I don't know if it's going to, but it produces energy, and that energy has a voltage. So that actually matters a lot. Like, you can give these light bulbs too much voltage, and I think they'll literally blow up or something. And they'll change brightness based on how much voltage you give them. So I don't really know how this works with that, because I've only experimented with the creative generator a long time ago, and it had a voltage setting. So I don't know if there is a way to change the voltage. Perhaps a resistor would do that. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. The resistor is for changing the voltage, so I may or may not need that. Oh yeah, so it has to be spinning quite a bit faster. That's producing 189 per tick. Can probably stick this on it, like, yep, I can. And then I can put this here. Although, what if I put a light bulb? Ooh, nice. It's not burning it out though, so that's good. And these power lines have been here for a while, just missing the power lines, but that should start oh, come on, why not? Why aren't you powering it? Oh, wait, now it's going. That was weird. Apparently, I am not using too much power, so that's good. Of course, if I do 0, then there's nothing there. Nothing at all. It feels good having plastic and electricity here, that's for sure, especially after such a long time when I designed it with this stuff in mind. The lights are finally on. But that is where we're going to have to end this video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Next time, we'll probably be working on a vehicle of some kind. I have something in mind I think will be pretty cool. But anyways, thanks for watching. I've been Sbeev. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.